record. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and I hope everybody has on your green so you don't get pinched. My husband asked me if he could still pinch me, and I told him no. No, he can't pinch me. That's not nice. But I said, I'm not Irish, but I have a kid named Patrick. So I always think this day is kind of special because my son is named Patrick.
Oh, yes.
I'll show y'all a picture of him. Let me see if I can pull this up and show y'all my little buddy. I had a picture on my birthday of me and him, and it turned out pretty good. So can y'all see him?
Yes, ma'am.
That's my son, Patrick.
Okay.
He's 17 and he is a junior in high school.
Oh, okay.
Well, we'll get started, and if anybody else joins, I'll just let them on in. We always get started by opening and closing our hands and just getting our bodies warmed up, which by this time of the day, our bodies probably are warmed up because we've been doing things, we've been busy, so we're probably not too terribly cold, but just in case we'll spend a little time walking around the room, opening and closing our hands, just pumping our arms, just to get that blood flowing. It gives our bodies a heads up, hey, we're fixing to do something. So that lessens our chance of injury, and we definitely don't want injury, right? Thinking about body awareness as we move, we always kind of check in with ourselves to see, hey, how's my posture? You know, or am I holding my shoulders back so that I have good posture? I'm holding my body upright. My legs are about shoulder width apart, or my feet are, so that I'm stable in my stance and my weight is supported, and that lessens the chance of fall. I have a soft bend in my knee that gives me a little movement control. So we get in that nice stable stance before we do our warm-up exercises. So the first ones we do are for our neck. So we bring our hands up towards our chin and chest, push away from our bodies, and then follow those hands all the way down. I like to inhale as I come up, and then just whenever I'm ready, exhale. One more. Just make sure you're continuing to breathe and not holding your breath. Our other neck exercise starts out that same way. Let's drop one hand and follow the other hand as we look over that shoulder. Feel a little stretch in that neck. Come back to the front. Take your time. Don't get in a hurry. If we go too fast, it might make us dizzy. So we just stay slow. Slowly stretch that neck. Help the range of motion of our neck. Side to side. Very good. Let's roll our shoulders. First roll forward. Small circles we draw on the sides of our legs, and then roll those shoulders back. Roll those shoulders forward. And then roll them back. All right, I got Miss Iona coming in. Let me admit her right quick. There we go. Miss Doris disappeared. There we go. Feels like a little massage we give ourselves. Let's do that big shoulder circle. Push down in front. Inhale as we come up and exhale as we push down.
Jennifer,
Yes, ma'am.
mine keep going in and out, but I can hear you. I'm gonna just try to follow you. Mine keep
Okay.
going in and out. So TJ and I are gonna try to follow you. Okay.
Okay. One more shoulder circle. Let's grab our ball and stretch our spine, separating the heavens and the earth. Push down towards the ground and up towards the ceiling, stretching that spine. Come back to our ball and switch our hands, stretching that spine vertically. In terms of breathing, I inhale as I come to my ball, gathering that air, and then exhaling as I separate those hands, pushing into that stretch. Inhale as I come to the ball, and exhale as I separate and stretch. To me, that just helps the stretch move even more, right? By exhaling as I separate. But if that doesn't work for you, then just breathe whatever does work for you. Just make sure you're breathing and not holding your breath. We all have different lung capacities, so we may be able to breathe, or we do breathe differently from each other.
Okay.
Say you're having problems with allergies. You may have a little shortness of your breath because you've been coughing, or maybe you have a cold. So it changes from time to time. So just keep that in mind. Now, let's take our ball on the right, side to side. The hand on top is our leading hand. We go to the side, switch our hands, and turn to just above that other leg. Turn side to side. It's making me yawn. So we're not going as far as we can go from side to side. We just take a nice short trip across our body as our back warms up horizontally, side to side. With breathing, I like to inhale as I change my hands and exhale as I move across. Very good. Give your bodies a little shake. That was a long time for our legs to hold our weight, so we just give it a little bit of a break before we move to our hip movements. The first hip movement, we switch our weight to one leg. We put a heel out forward and our hands go back as a counterbalance. Pause in the middle, toe back, hands forward. Just check in with your posture to make sure you're standing upright and not leaning forwards or backwards. Let me do one more, and then I'm going to let Miss Ruth Ann in. I see where she's trying to join. So feel free to keep going with your hip stretch. I'm just writing down who's that. Miss Iona and Miss Ruth Ann have made it here. Very good. Okay. We're going to shift our weight to our other leg. That heel forward, hands back, pause in the middle, and our toe back, hands forward. Excuse my yawning, y'all. I promise y'all aren't boring. I think we get ourselves relaxed with this slowing down and breathing. And if we're in a sleepy mood, then it makes us kind of sleepy. All right, so now we're going to shift our weight from one leg to the other. Our hands are stacked, going in the direction of the weight shift, staying within our frame, tapping that foot out, bringing it back in, switching our hands, coming back to the other side, tapping. So we're shifting that weight from one leg to the other. Taking our time as we shift that weight. Keeping our bodies upright and continuing to breathe. We're just doing a few extra movements today as our bodies get stronger each week. Now for our knees, we have our loose fists down here by our hips. We're going to shift our weight, lift and tap our toe out forward, punching with the opposite hand. Bring it back, switch, lift, tap and punch, keeping that body upright. Shift, lift, tap and punch, bring it back, shift the weight. One leg to the other. Focusing on that slow shifting of the weight, not getting in a hurry as we engage our stabilizer muscles. And those muscles are what help us keep our balance. That's just one thing that helps us keep our balance. Let's do that other knee exercise where we step forward, shift the weight, step. Now we're going to shift the weight to that front leg, keeping the back leg on the ground. As we punch the opposite hand, we bring the weight back, feet side by side, shift, step, heel, toe, shift and punch, bring it back, feet side by side, shift, step, shift and punch, bring it back, feet side by side, shift, step, heel, toe, shift and punch, bring it back, feet side by side. Just shift, taking the time to shift that weight side to side and front and back really works again. Those stabilizer muscles, going slow is key here. There you go. Good job. Now for our ankles, shift our weight to one leg and then heel, toe, rocking that foot, heel, toe. Bring the foot back, shift the weight, and again, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Rocking that foot. Bring the foot back, shift the weight. Now let's go big toe, little toe, side to side. Works the whole range of motion of our ankle joint, helping those muscles be strong and able to hold our weight. Shift the weight. Now let's do the other foot, little toe, big toe, side to side, working that ankle joint. You don't want to forget about that joint just because it's small and far away from our eyes. These ankle motions also help with circulation. So that's something that you can do while you're seated. All right, give your body a good shake, and we're ready to do our Tai Chi Basic 6 movements. Does anybody have any questions before we get started doing that?
I don't. I just got to slow down.
I just want to remind you, I had bingo size class this morning, and we were talking about the importance of vision and the importance of hearing when it comes to falls prevention. So it's just a reminder that if to get your eyes checked, to get your hearing checked, so that you lessen the risk. Because if your body is having to focus on seeing, then it's taking the attention away from something else. If your body's having to focus on hearing, it's taken away from something else. So those are just some tips on falls prevention that maybe we don't really think about in Tai Chi class, but nonetheless, it's as important as walking around your house, checking to see if there's clutter, checking to see if there's any falls risks. If you have rugs, are they slippery? Do they have the double-sided tape? Do they have the non-sticky back? Do they have fringe on them that you can easily trip over? So, you know, keeping spills wiped up. I thought about this when we were at a hotel, and the shower curtain, it was crappy is what it was, and it let water onto the floor. So you can imagine that could be slippery for somebody who's at falls for risk or at risk for falls. So always be aware of your environment, because you might not have spilled water on the floor, but somebody else may have, and that can be a fall risk for you. You know, it can be in public, it could be at your house, but just always be aware of your environment. So in Tai Chi class, we're working to make these muscles strong so that no matter what we face out in the world, our bodies can handle it and react in a way where we're not falling. So that's a great goal to have. So with the goal is to make those stabilizer muscles especially strong. And we get that from our weight shifting, whether we're shifting weight side to side, whether we're shifting weight from front to back. And we get it when we slow down and take our time to weight shift. That makes it a little more difficult because it starts relying on those stabilizer muscles that may be a little bit weak. So be patient with yourself, stick with it, and practice often, not just one time a week when we have class, but try to work on it throughout the week so that you can continue to get your muscles stronger. Okay, so we're going to go through our basic 6. I'll call out the movements. We'll do that a few times. I'll call out the name of the movement, and then I'm going to put on some Tai Chi music, and then we're just going to go through the movements and just experience the full pleasures of Tai Chi. All those benefits that we get when we learn to close our mouths and just experience the movement control, the body structure, and the internal benefit of Tai Chi. Those are with our principles. So here we go. Let's go over it a few times. So we begin with awareness of our body and make sure we're holding our bodies in a nice supportive way. And here we go. Commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. And close it out. How do you feel about that?
Oh,
I'm getting it.
mm-hmm.
I'm getting it.
More and more smooth. You're getting the hang of the movements.
Yes.
We need to focus more on our footwork like we did last week. Do we want to talk more about our feet?
Yeah.
Okay. So we want to talk about our feet. Let me move my computer down. Let's see. So whenever we do commencement, our footwork is shift right, step left, shift left, and bring that right foot forward. So it's a step forward, and when we take that step, it's a small step. So it's whenever we take that step, it's only that far. So we're not taking a big step. It's just a tiny step forward. So don't overdo it when you don't have to. So it's step left, step right. Oops. It's shift right, step left, shift, and bring that right foot forward. So I'm doing mirror image, so I got myself messed up. So it's shift right, step left, shift left, and bring that right foot forward. Okay, you got that? That's clear, right? Just a simple step forward. Whenever we add in our hands, hold on a second. When we add in our hands, we come up with our hands come down as we shift right, step left, bring those hands up, shift left as those hands go out, and bring that right foot forward. And then bring those hands back to get ready for open and close. So that is the series of the commencement movement. Our hands come up, nothing's happening with our feet. When our hands come down, we're shifting right. We step left, bring those hands in and up, shift left, bring that right foot forward, and our hands come back. All right, so that's the chopped up version. Let's make it a little more smooth. So commence. Open and close. Now let's talk about single whip. When we do single whip, the first one that we do is to the right. What we do is we shift left, step right, and we're going to shift back to our left foot and bring our right foot back. So that's the footwork of single whip. It's shift left, step out right, and after we step out right, we kind of even our weight out. So there may be a little bit more weight on this back foot, but you have weight on the front foot too. You can even it out and make 50-50, and that's about right. But there's definitely weight on that front foot. Then you shift the weight back to that left foot and bring the right foot back to get ready for waving hands and clouds. And that's when we step out for waving hands and clouds. So that's the footwork of commencement, of single whip.
Thank you.
Here's the hand work. So for the hand work, we shift left. We're coming from open and close, so our hands are right here. We shift left, then we step right. When we step right, we step at an angle, and that naturally turns our body towards that same angle. We place our hands out, turn our hands away from us, and then separate those hands as we follow that left hand.
Right.
Making sure that we continue to open both hands. So it's easy to forget about the hand that you're not looking at, right? So we want to make sure that when we do that whip, even though we're looking at that left hand, we're still moving that right hand out. And if you want to do it the wrong way, do it the wrong way, where you only move the left hand and you just leave that right hand there. Okay, that's the wrong way. Now let's do it the right way. We put those hands out, turn, following that left hand, we move our left and right hand. Do you feel the difference in your chest? Don't you feel that chest really open it up? You feel a nice stretch there. That's why we do it that way and not just move that left hand. Okay, so we want to make sure we're opening that left and right hand to really open up that chest when we do that movement. Okay, so let's put it together. We're coming from open and close here. We're going to do single whip where we shift left, step right, push, turn, separate, following that left hand, shift left, bring that right foot back. You can leave this hand up to get ready, or this hand up to get ready for waving hands and clouds. Okay, any questions about single whip? The footwork is clear? You're good with that? Okay. Swallowed that water wrong. Okay, so, all right, here we go. We're going to do commencement, open and close, and then our single whip from the top and commence. Oh gosh. Open and close. Single whip. Following that right hand. And that gets us ready for waving hands and clouds. So waving hands and clouds, we do it both ways, and it's 3 steps to the side or 6, depending on the way you want to look at it. So when I get finished with single whip, I draw that right foot in, and I'm going to step it out. That's my first step for waving hands and clouds. And then I turn my body. So just the step, just the footwork, I step out, shift, follow step, shift, step, shift, step, shift, step, shift, follow step. So it's probably been a long time since we've really broke down the waving hands and cloud step, and we forget just how easy that is to step to the side. Once we go adding in those waves or those turns, it complicates everything. But it's a simple stepping to the side. There are 3 steps with the follow step or 6 total steps. When we do it to the other side, it's the same thing. Step out, shift, follow step, And when we follow stepped, we didn't bring our feet side by side. We never bring our feet this close together. That makes us a little wobbly and off balance. So we keep our feet at hip width apart. We don't bring it any closer for very long as we shift weight. And then when we step out, we're just outside of hip width. Shift, step, we're at hip width. Shift, step out, wider than hip width. Shift, follow step, at hip width. Shift, step, wider than hip width. Shift, step, at hip width. So it may take some time to find your magic amount of space that you step out, shift, and follow step with. It may take some time. Now, I don't encourage you to look down, because if you look down, then that puts you in the direction of falling. So you want to be able to keep your head up. Well, if you are keeping your head up, how could you see yourself? Well, you could do it in front of a mirror and you could see yourself. So right now I'm looking at myself in the camera on the screen of my computer. That's kind of like a mirror. So I can see when I take a step that is a little farther apart than hip width. When I take that follow step, it's right at hip width. I can see that right now. You might not can see it on your computer or your tablet. You may not have a mirror, or you might not have access to a big enough mirror to be able to see it. So what you could do is have somebody record you so that you can see your steps. So you may see that you're coming and you're putting your foot here, and you're coming and you're putting your foot here, and you didn't realize it. You may not be like me, got big old legs. They're going to touch each other. So I know they're together. If my legs are touching each other, my feet are way too close together. So somebody videoing you can tell you. Even somebody just taking pictures can tell you. That's how I found out that when I was doing follow steps in the advanced movements, I was doing step, shift, follow step. You see, my heel is off the floor. It's supposed to be here. I didn't know that until I saw pictures of myself. And so I quickly fixed it. So if watching yourself in the mirror, videoing yourself, or having somebody take pictures can help let you know where your feet are, if they're in the right spot or not, or if you need to make some adjustments. So I encourage you to look and see. I don't want you to look down, because if you look down, you increase your chance of falling.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a little bit about footwork in terms of waving hands in clouds. A little more than hip width, shift, hip width. Now, we'll tell you on the single whips, when we do shift, step, push, turn, separate, okay, we're getting ready to do waving hands in clouds. We bring that foot in right before we step out for the waving hands in clouds. That bringing that foot in may be a problem for you. So if bringing your foot in, because you know I just told you putting your feet too close together is a problem, that's just a slight pause before you step. But if that slight pause makes you feel unbalanced, don't pull all the way back. Go from here and then bring it back to where you're a little farther than hip width or at hip width. See if that's helpful for you. Because sometimes that makes me feel a little uncertain, because I'm going slow, moving that toe in, that right there, it gives me a little wobble. And we it's not that wobble is a bad thing, because that wobble is your stabilizer muscles being tested. The wobble goes, oh yeah, come on, stabilizer muscles, pull yourself up, pull it together. Most of the time, my stabilizer muscles bring me back together. Oh gosh. But I may be in a moment where I don't have really good balance, and it might get the best of me. So my stabilizer muscles, although they're strong, I want to always rely on them. We want to do our part so that we're setting our bodies up to be in a way that is stable. So putting our feet close together is always a kind of a scary test of those stabilizer muscles. So there's a place for you to make changes, adjustments, or modifications if you need it to go ahead and step out rather than pulling it in, then stepping out. So that gives you some choice there. All right, so that takes us through the footwork of all of our basic 6. I can stay, I think I have a good camera view of my whole body. We'll give it a try. I won't move it up on top of that box. Let's give it a try and see if I can do it and still be seen for the whole basic 6. So here we go. Let's do all of our basic 6 and commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Close it out. All right, let's do it again. We're going to do it one more time, and then I'm going to turn on some music, and we're just going to do the movements without me talking. Okay, here we go, and commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. and close it out. Any questions or you need any clarifications? What do you think, Miss
Keep
Doris?
going, I can get it.
Keep going?
If I keep going, I keep going, I can get it.
All
If I
right.
keep going, sometimes I have to catch up, but I get back on track.
Y'all can see me okay in terms of, being able to follow me. Y'all can see me okay. All right. All right. I'm going to put on some of this Tai Chi music. Okay. Maybe it's not too loud. Can y'all hear it?
Yeah.
All right, so we're just going to go through without me talking several times. Take you some nice deep breaths. Get yourself ready to go through those movements. Recheck your posture, how you're holding your body. And commence. Opening, close. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to talk. That gave you a chance to be slow, smooth, continuous, without my voice.
Can I say something?
Huh?
Can I say something?
Uh-huh.
If you don't talk or say anything, then I can't see you because the other people will move and all I can see is their picture. All I could see was this Barbara, I guess, sitting in her chair.
Oh,
So
well,
the camera goes straight to any other noise that's made.
well, that's
couldn't see.
interesting. I thought whenever I put a pin on me, what do y'all see now?
I see everybody.
Everybody's the same size of square?
I just,
No, see when they
See.
talk, I can see them.
Okay,
That's
right.
all.
Am I the biggest picture now?
Yes, because you're talking.
Oh. Huh.
Now I see
the speaker.
got it. So anybody that speaks while you're not, that's all I can see.
Okay. Let's see. On your screen, do you see a little?
you have to talk every now and then to keep the camera on you.
Okay. In the, all right, can you scroll over my picture? Okay, scroll over my picture.
No.
Okay.
Where?
Okay, see, when Gladys talks, I see Gladys.
Okay.
I don't see me on
Whoever
my.
makes the noise. I do, I see her on the big screen.
Really? Okay.
Well, I see me in the corner. She doesn't, you know.
Yeah.
So
I'm
on
not
on your screen, anytime anybody talks, they pop up as the big picture.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. it
Well,
does
see,
too.
here I've been thinking that because I have myself pinned and because I'm in speaker view, that I would always be the biggest picture.
No.
Oh, I
If you-
love technology.
If somebody else does, it goes to
Speaker
them.
view means that the speaker is
So if you're speaking, then you become the speaker.
right.
Exactly.
All
If you
right.
make a
This is
noise
the
of
whole
any
body.
kind, it'll go to them.
So I'm in gallery, I see everybody.
See, Barbara, when she,
Oh,
any
I can't-
noise
I just-
is made, it'll go straight to her. If she makes any noise of any kind.
And everybody's is doing that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be dog. I never knew. I guess I never shut up long enough to not be the big picture, huh?
But we are following you. See, I see her. But
See, I can only see me and I see her talking now, Doris.
okay, down at the bottom. I'm down at the bottom. You see me in the whole screen?
Right, you will be. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
We see you in the whole screen. You only see yourself at the bottom.
oh,
Okay. Can you, when you put your mouse or whatever the little arrow or whatever you have over my picture, are there 3 dots in the top left corner?
I don't have any of that, but it doesn't matter. If you make a noise, you don't even have to speak. If you make a noise, it goes to the person making the noise.
oh,
I'm
really?
just,
Or if you
I was
don't
just curious because see, I can click on Doris and I can make her a spotlight for everyone.
Oh,
So
But I-
I can, let me do it. Spotlighting Doris for everyone will move all pinned videos. Let's just see what happens. Oh, now Doris is the big picture. Do y'all see Doris as the big picture?
No, I see you because you're talking.
I don't see myself. I don't
Okay.
see myself.
All right.
I can see Doris now.
I
I never-
see you now.
I never seen Doris.
I see Ruth Ann.
Now,
I don't see, but I see two.
I see Ruth Ann.
I see two.
I
people.
always
Okay.
see 4
And if
people.
whoever makes the noise or talks or speaks or whatever, that's who it goes to.
Okay.
Then we can all see that person.
Well, let me see what I can figure out between now and next time. I don't know
Okay.
that I can find out anything.
Well, it doesn't matter if you'll talk or say something in between, it'll keep the camera on you.
Okay. So just call out those the names of the movements and that's
Yeah.
helpful to
Yes,
keep
Yeah.
me pinned.
Yeah.
Well,
because if anybody else makes a noise in between and you don't do it regular, then
gotcha.
it goes to them and I can't see what they're doing.
Okay. Well, we learned something today. I always thought I was the big picture because I am on my screen.
Just hadn't said anything, but after, it gets
Okay. Well,
through the whole thing.
that really
I
is
can't
the
see.
first time that we've tried it without talking. It's a little music.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
That's how we learn is, I I'm still new at this, and I'll probably be new at it because they'll keep changing it. All right, so let me turn the music back on. Is the music at a good volume? Or is it? It's fine. Okay.
It's,
So if I talk, y'all can still hear me with the music
Right, we can
playing. Okay, well, I'll just call out the names of the movements, and maybe that won't be too distracting as we go through.
now we see your whole body.
Okay, very good. So here we go. Let's start from the beginning, making sure we have that good body structure, really thinking about slow, smooth, and continuous, letting that slow music that's intended for Tai Chi guide us, not being in a hurry as we shift our weight and move our bodies. Here we go, and commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Excuse me. Open and close. Close it out. All right, let's do it again. And then we'll do our cool down. Thinking slow, smooth, continuous, upright posture. And commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Close it out. Let's do it one more time. We have time for another one. I want to give you a challenge to think about gentle resistance as one of our principles as we do that movement, is just really moving as if you're in water and you're having to push away and push together as you go through those hand and foot movements, just like you're pushing through water. That's gentle resistance. That's one of our principles. So I challenge you to think about that as you go through it this time. And commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. And close it out. All right, let's give ourselves a little fist massage. As we thank our legs for working so hard for us, carrying us around, aiding us in shifting that weight. I know we get sore some days from working so hard. This little fist massage gives it a nice massage, breaking up that lactic acid. Now let's create tension by gathering and then letting it go. Release that tension. Gather and relax. Gather and relax. Gather and relax. Big shoulder circle, come up and push down. Inhale and exhale. One more. And to end our class, we always have, let me turn that music down a little bit. We have our fist that represents our strength. Our fingers standing up together, that represents our friendship. Our thumb bent in, that's our humility. Strength, friendship, and humility put together, and in mutual respect, we say namaste.
Namaste.
So, how did y'all like the addition of the music?
It was good.
There's something about the music that just settles me into the moment when doing our Tai Chi movements. And it made focusing on gentle resistance easier. I mean, there was something about that music that just made me really feel the resistance of water as I opened and closed and pushed. There's something about music that just adds to it. So we'll still do our part of our class without as we review movements and go over specifics, but then we'll add music and really enjoy the movements and try to focus on principles. So does anybody have any questions for me before we go today?
I enjoyed it.
Very good. Well, I'll see you next Thursday, Lord's willing. Y'all take care and enjoy the sunshine.
Yes, ma'am.
Love y'all.
Love you too. And thank you.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. And it'll be on YouTube if y'all want to watch it again.
Yes, ma'am.